You are now listening to Necro and DJ Crobo. High sodium content.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What? What's going on, good folks? Welcome to another edition of High Sodium Content. So high, so salty. Alright? Now, we got another immigrant telling black folks what they need and what they don't need. Now, we're going to look at the video together. The pastor's name is John, I don't want to mess this up, John Amanchukwu. John Amanchukwu. Trying to tell black Americans what we need and what we don't need. And he's at a forum, right? I don't know if this is a maybe like a school forum or something like that, like a school board meeting. And we're going to see primarily the demographic of the people of whom he's addressing. Let's see what the good reverend has to say.
10 things that black students don't need. Number
10
one,
things
we
black
don't
students don't
need
need.
affirmative action. Number two, we don't
Okay.
need.
Let's stop it right there. I agree with him on that. We don't need affirmative action because, as we've seen throughout its inception, that it does not benefit black folk.
Who are you talking about?
In fact, statistics show, and by all means, look this up if you want to. If you think I'm wrong, you think I'm bullshitting you. Statistics show that primarily white women are the biggest minority that benefit from affirmative action. And you see it. I've actually experienced this firsthand. I've experienced this firsthand. I've seen this in action. Long time ago, one of my last HR jobs for this HR journalist position in Long Island, in Plainview, Long Island, right? New York. And the person that interviewed me, the director, manager, whatever, he was like a one-man show. His name was Jules. Stand-up guy, man. Really cool. We had a great interview. It was awesome. And I was like, man, this is great. So ironically, we wound up having the same birthday. Go figure, right? So, the interview was great and stuff like that. He was like, listen, it's up to me. You got the job. And I'm like, great, man. I should hear something the next day or so. So, waiting around, don't hear anything for a while. Months go by. Forget about the place. I'm going on with my life. But in that waiting room, I do remember seeing this one white female. And she was young, like she just got out of college. Keep that in mind, right? Months go by, I get a call from the recruiter at the place. And, they asked me if I still want the job. I'm like, yeah, it's more money. I want to get out of this place that I'm at. I'm not being treated well. So let me get out of here, right? See, the grass is never always greener. That's always something too. So, I get to the, to the place, I have another interview again and stuff, this time with the owner, white lady. She's asking me all these like crazy questions. My resume is exemplary at this point. I have an MBA, human resource management, whole nine, right? Experience. I've been a recruiter for a while at this point. I know my job. I know my profession. Just drilling me like I'm going for like I don't know, a job at like Google or like Facebook or something, like just crazy, right? So I'm, dodging everything, answering the questions with like the highest caliber, right? Don't hear anything again. At this point, I'm like, screw this place. I get a call again and like, yeah, we'll offer you a little bit more money. Fine. Okay,
Damn.
cool. I'll take it now. Because at the end of the day, it's money that runs everything, right? So I get hired and I realized that the person that took over Jules' job, right, was the girl that was sitting in the waiting room with me. And come to find out, she just graduated from college, had no experience in HR whatsoever, aside from like a little intern. And we know interns only get coffee and fax things off, scan things of that nature. Make copies, all that stuff, right? They do the grunt work. So they had that person running the HR department. Got rid of the black guy, right? And make a long story short, things didn't work out. I mean, the place was racist. It wasn't. It didn't take too long to find that out. They was trying to get rid of whatever black males they could, including myself. I didn't do anything crazy. I was always looking for work to do. Every time I tried to hire somebody, put someone through, they would just kind of say we're not going to take that person right now. Whatever excuse they wanted to come up with. And then, they tried to justify saying that I wasn't doing the work, so they can let me go. Go figure, right? But I tell you that story to say that affirmative action didn't benefit me in that situation, in which, I was the more qualified candidate. And even if they needed somebody to run that department, I was the more qualified candidate. But they chose someone, and they chose the white woman, who was just a white face, didn't know anything. And that's a lot of times what happens. They can show up. They don't have to have a shred of college the way we do. They can just show up and get the job and be over you in no time. In no time. So I'm with him on affirmative action going away. Peace out. Goodbye. Let's see what else he got to say.
Equity. Number three, we don't need to be pandered to. Number four, we don't need you to dumb down test scores in order for us to thrive. Number five, we don't need a school system promoting victim mentality.
Okay. Now he mentioned equity. He mentioned a few things here. Dumbing down test scores. I mean, I don't think any person, I don't think any black person wants their test scores dumbed down. So I don't know where he's going around with that. Everybody I grew up around, their parents always wanted them to strive and do better. I think we all want to strive and do better. I mean, just as humans. I mean, not even like a cultural or like racial thing. Like everybody wants to do better. Like nobody is satisfied with somebody dumbing down things for them. So I don't know what he's talking about there. Equity, yeah, we need equity. Things should be equal in this country for everybody, for all people. But you see, the problem with white supremacy is that when you make things equal for them, it seems like oppression because they've been handed everything. They've been given everything easy, But gone are the times, well, I should say the times of dying were like, people aren't going for that no more. Like it's enough is enough with that. And he's talking about having a victim mentality. Victim mentality. See, that's white supremacist talk, because we don't have a victim mentality. This is history. This is history. This is American history. Dogs being sicked on us, uh, public lynchings and public castrations, jarring body parts, experimentations. I mean, the father of gynecology experimented on black women with no anesthesia, doing the most horrific things. I mean, it sounds like something out of like a I don't know, a Clive Barker film. You know, this is these horror stories are part of our history. And how can we expect an immigrant to know that? You know, I mean, we know that a majority of people, a vast majority of people, are very, very stupid these days. Very, 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 very stupid. And they'll rather listen to something. It's all well and good to like listen to things and stuff, but check stuff out for yourself. Read a couple of excerpts or something. You know, but to say that we have a victim mentality, come on, bro. Somebody failed U.S. history. Come on now, man. Like I said, you have these immigrants, who's popping up out of the woodworks, to just spew all this venom and anti-black racism against us, and the white supremacists, they're funny because they think by using the black face it's okay, to get that message across. No, we're still going to treat this person just like one of you guys. It's not going to change the landscape. He's still anti-black racist in my book. If you're going to subscribe to that type of rhetoric, that is proven, it can be proven time and time again. You're either racist or an idiot. Pick one. Sometimes they're one and the same. But let's continue.
Number 6, we don't need the soft bigotry of low expectations. Number 7, critical theory or intersectionality. Number 8, we don't need reparations or any more welfare states. Number 9, we school system promoting victim mentality. Number
See, now back to the victim mentality. Now, the whole thing with CRT is not taught in grade school. It's not taught in 1 through 12. It's not even taught in undergrad levels. Actually, it's a higher level of learning. It's not. It's taught at the collegiate level. High collegiate level.
What?
It's American history that's being taught, and the man in the mirror don't like his reflection. That's why you see Florida doing what they're doing, trying to take, trying to say that slaves learned valuable life skills. Survival techniques, guerrilla warfare. Yeah, because having the sun beating down on you is a life skill. Being graped, sundown to sunset. Man, that's fantastic. That's a life skill to have. Come on now, man. I mean, the thing, this is why they're called demons, because that's vile. That is one of the worst times in human history, not just American history, just human history. That's the things that happened during slavery are like, they're horror stories. No good came out of that. Absolutely no good came out of that. So Florida wants to teach lies to children and further create a class of idiots. Listen, I'm a firm believer that we should learn everything. Everything, the truth. We all deserve the truth. And not this watered down, whitewashed, adulterated version of American history that just didn't happen that way. That's insane. Let's continue.
6, we don't need the soft bigotry of low expectations. Number 7, critical race theory or intersectionality. Number 8, we don't need reparations or any more welfare states.
This is the big one for me. I was waiting for him to get to this. So he says, we don't need reparations and to be another welfare state. Sir, sit your goofy ass down.
Get the fuck on out of here. There's a bunch of this.
You are an immigrant with Nigerian ancestry. Speak on the issues of Nigeria or neighboring or adjacent countries on the continent of Africa. You don't speak about the issues that affect the black man and black woman of America. You have no leg to stand on. Because if it wasn't for my ancestors dying in the streets to get justice and equity in this country, you wouldn't be at that podium, sir.
Beep, Richie.
The back of his neck looked like a pack of Franks. The audacity.
Damn.
The gall. Come on now. I mean, you have to have a pair of steel ones to sit up there and say that with a black face. See, again, you got to understand that just because he got a black face don't mean he get a pass. Oh, he definitely going to get this smoke. If he hasn't been getting this smoke already. That's, come on, man. Again, if you understand the totality of American history and what these people went through, these horrific things that happened, I mean, they even want to they don't even want to teach you about even white people that played a huge contribution in the abolitionist movement. John Brown. You've never seen a movie about John Brown? Cassius Clay, individuals like that, Nat Turner. I think there was another brother. Oh man, something Smalls, but he took over a whole ship. But they don't want to teach you that. Those were true Americans and true patriots. Because at the end of the day, the Civil War was a division of the Union. That Confederate flag is a rebel flag. So when you see people that, and this is how ignorant the white supremacist is, that's not patriotic. That's anti-patriotic, that flag. If you want to be honest about it, you're swinging a rebel flag. You're saying, I don't want to be part of the U.S. Yeah, man, American history is deep. And, they want to tell you, oh, well, slavery was so long ago. There's still slavery today in this country. Did you know that? Yeah, look at the prison system. The prison system. Yeah, where they pay you pittance, pennies a day. Now I'm with you. I think, hard-earned, criminals that do serious, hardcore crime deserve to be there, if not underneath the jail. But you have some people, that's locked up in there for drug charges. You know, some people in there for selling weed, which is now legal in a majority of the U.S. I'm telling you, it's funny. It's funny. It's deep here, you know. And reparations goes beyond that, beyond slavery, and slavery is a big portion of it, but it goes beyond that. Post Reconstruction, everything that happened after that. These people have never left us alone. I can see if there was a moment in time, right, where we were just like after the Civil War, we were left to our own devices, built ourselves up, we'd be fine right now. There'd be no talk about reparations because we wouldn't need it. Wouldn't need it. But no, the devil can't see anything good happen. So they moseyed themselves down, destroyed towns, burned towns, stolen homes, land, cattle, crops. There's a place called Lake Lanier, and you can check this out. Apparently, it's cursed because they flooded an entire town. There's a entire black town in that lake. Rosewood, Emmett Till. I mean, it just goes on and on and on to modern day. With police brutality. You know, I got my hands up. I'm no threat, but you shoot me 40 times. We don't need reparations in this country, sir. Sit your ass down. Sit your goofy ass down and shut up. You don't speak. You don't speak for us. You don't speak for those children in that community. Shut up. Bring no valid points other than white supremacist talking points. So no, I firmly disagree with a majority of what he said, except for the affirmative action. You know, everything else is just nonsense. He sound like that. All he listened to is Fox News and nothing else. You know, listen. Sometimes you got to get your head out of the TV. Get your eyes off the internet. And read a book sometimes. Let's continue.
Number 9, we don't need to be propped up as the darlings of the LGBTQ community, as Dwayne Wade has done with his son, Zaire. Number 10, we don't.
Whoa. I don't know about propping up darlings of the LGBT community. I don't. Listen. That is far from the truth. Far from the truth. Sure, you got a Billy Porter here, you got a RuPaul there. They're not the faces of that thing, as far as I know. More disingenuous comments. They do anything to take away black male masculinity. That's what they want you to believe. But no, I can assure you, you come over here, you'll find some strong brothers. Mm-mm. No. Nope. Let's finish.
Need white liberals telling us that they know what's best for us. then we know what's best for ourselves.
He has a point there. He definitely has a point with that. We don't need white liberals or white conservatives, for that matter, telling us what we need and what we don't need. We are sentient beings. Sad I had to say that. Capable of cognitive thought, reasoning, rationality. But no, we don't need, these politicians saying what we need and what we don't need. And this is the problem that we're in now with the Democratic Party. Them telling us, especially Jim Clyburn, his old crusty self, saying that we don't need reparations. Again, another blackface saying that we don't need reparations. Telling us what we need and what we don't need. It's crazy. It's totally absurd, because it just, some people are just so vastly ignorant, woefully ignorant, and wish to remain so, like this gentleman. They just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'd rather be immersed and submerged in truth. There's a freedom with truth. There's a uplifting with truth. Didn't Jesus say it? Didn't Yeshua say it? The truth will set you free. But you see, individuals wish to remain in bondage, remain shackled by ignorance and false ideologies. I don't understand. I asked the question, I doubt this, this will reach, the good reverend. But what do you gain out of this? What do you gain out of undermining the struggles of Black Americans? This is the final frontier, as Philip Scott said it best. This is the final frontier. Reparations. This is the last shot. This is our last go around in this country. This is the final stake of justice. We're right in Dracula's castle. We're right at his coffin. We got the nail, we got the hammer, and we about to do what we got to do. But then we got guys like this who'll tackle us as we're about to strike the final blow. I know that there's and I'm not harping on immigrants just to harp on them. No, there's some great individuals that have come to this country and made amazing contributions. But unfortunately, this brother is not one of them. He's actually doing more harm than good. But I mean, we're hip to the game. My age group, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Xers, we listen, man. We on that. We on that. We know the code language. We get it. We get it. So all this he's saying is just one in one ear and out the other. He's serving no purpose to anybody. It's just sad. It's just a sad brother, sad, misguided brother. But people like him, more often than not, get their wake up call. I'll just call it that, the black wake up call. Let's call it that. He gonna get his one day. And that same community that he's castigating and talking this nonsense about is going to be the same people he's going to beg and plead to come back to. So you go ahead, you make your bed, just be prepared to lie in it when the smoke's clear. All right, now you know, y'all let me know what you guys think about this video about John Amanchukwu. You know, I mean, do you agree to his sentiments, especially about reparations and all the other nonsense he was talking about? I mean, why do? And another question I want to pose to you guys: why do immigrants feel like they can speak on issues regarding Black Americans and the strides of Black Americans? Y'all let me know. And as always, stay salty. Oh, I'm bugging. My bad. Before we even do that, don't forget to check us out on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon, and all major platforms we listen to your podcast. Don't forget to check out the merch store. We got cool merch, always new designs. Don't forget to check us out on Teespring. Check us out. Get the merch on Teespring. Check me out on IG, Twitch, Necro. Check me out on TikTok, Necro Jr. All that stuff will be provided in the description. Well, in comments, pin comment, and yeah. As always, stay salty. Peace.
Man, this is some bullshit.
Go to school and get a good education. Stop all that gang, man. You not from the hood.